Press GH, and we are live on Beyond the Court with Harrison Duodu. Today is our first and maiden podcast for this show, and I'm doing this with Igor Dogluboski. That's his popular name on the courts, but he's called Prince Dake. Welcome, Prince.
Thank you, Harry.
And if you've been seeing him, he's with the Ghana Air Force team. He has also played Lego Knights and for the University of Ghana in his youthful days. But after school, he was able to join the Air Force team and is now a personnel for the Ghana Armed Forces. Today's postcard would be a bit of history on why we started Handball Press and the need to grow the sports in Ghana. So, if I'm starting, let's say in the year 2017, I had a discussion with my own brother here when we were back in Legon, discussing how we would project handball in Ghana, because we realized we were playing handball and most media houses weren't focusing on us. It was all about football, and sometimes you see either basketball or volleyball, but mostly it was football and athletics. So we sat down and drafted a plan to create this media house, which is now how do we say it, a household name for the handball fraternity. That's Handball Press GH. So we started. It wasn't easy, but with the help of the players, the coaches, handball lovers, now Handball Press GH is very loud on social media and in the midst of the fraternity. So we decided to start our first podcast so that we can discuss matters beyond the courts or anything that happened on the field of play. So today I want to start this maiden edition with my very own brother, who I had this discussion some years back. So welcome, Dake.
Thank you once again.
And do you have anything to share with our audience concerning how we wanted to start all these things?
First, I would like to say good morning to everyone as well. If anybody know anything about me, it's probably that I'm a sports enthusiast. So we love the game, not just handball in particular, but anything sports. You can trust me to find interest. So back in our uni days, I mean, we had wild ambitions and we had big dreams for the game that we loved. We were hoping, back then we were actually hoping that by now sports would have been properly developed so that the generations that are coming after us would benefit much more than we did. So the whole idea of projecting the game of handball on the social platforms was needed actually to give the game the exposure and the publicity that was needed to invite investors. And some way, somehow, handball GH, Handball Press GH, has established a footing, especially when it comes to Ghana handball. It's like the most popular and then the trusted social platform. You can get all the needed handball information in Ghana. We are hoping that with this publicity, we can get partnerships that would help grow both the game and your brand, the Handball Press GH. So if you're watching this is probably also a call for help to promote both the platform and the game. So that's how I would like to open. Then maybe through the discussions, as things comes up, then we talk more.
Thank you very much for your comments and thoughts. And you being the first guest, how was your expectation before and after knowing handball? What has been the ambition? Have you gotten there, or you are still planning to get to that stage?
Honestly, my whole life I've been a sports person. It's just that, unfortunately, through basic and senior high school, I didn't have the privilege of knowing and playing handball. I started playing handball in uni, I think, when I came in my first year. So I think 2009, 2010 academic year. So my then sports secretary, who is now also major in the Ghana Army, Major Ampuma, popularly known as Osibo. He was then the sports secretary for Commonwealth War. So in high school, I was a hockey player. So we finished a hockey game, freshest hockey game. So I was wearing the Commonwealth jersey, and he walked up to me, and him and now I think Corporal Sergeant Sakode walked up to me and was like, would I like to play handball? They inspected my palm, typical Van Gogh thing, give me some morale. And I was like, oh, come and play for Commonwealth, and then that was it. So after this introduction, what made me stick with handball was actually back in University of Ghana. I can tell you one of the best fraternities to belong to was the handball, because like we basically lived like a family. So back then our coach was Coach Emmanuel Tete Samute, popular known as Coach Sapute or Coach Sabu or Osabu. But and I was playing hockey then, so I would always come for hockey training. But then I would have to wait for a long period before the hockey players will come. By then, handball is already training. So it got to a time I'll train with handball, and then when hockey is ready, I'll go and join hockey. But you all know how the family was lovely back then. So with time, I just
zone into handball.
I just zoned into handball and stopped going to hockey. So now my expectation of the game when I started playing handball, just like any of the less developed sports, my expectation is that, honestly, back then, and I'm like from 2010 to now, and my expectation then was that like maybe handball would have been far more developed than it is now. That is not to say that we've not made progress, but back then, as a beginner, we had like high hopes. I was even at some point I tried talking to my friends in Germany about how there is a need to establish partnership between the university community and then the various clubs, like the club they were playing. But unfortunately, it comes with a lot of work and cost
and commitment.
That at the time I was too lazy for. and then there was also the need for like one of the first things they always ask is a video, like something to show your skills. And back then, we didn't have handball press, GH. Maybe if we had, maybe we would have
made a lot of progress.
Yeah.
I believe that was what we were lacking, and that pushed us to birth this media house, Handball Press GH, because we would go for sponsorships, talk to other people outside the country, and they're like, do you have a video to show? We don't have. So we are like, okay, then let's solve that problem. Then from there, you go back to the drawing board again.
So even when Legonite started in 2013, that's when it started way earlier, but it started as a fan club that like students and alumni will meet. By then there was a handball club by the University of Ghana Post that we meet and just play handball on weekends. Then after a series of discussion, we decided to join the league so that we participate. Then I think when Legonite started, I think 2 or 3 years at some point, we personally started videoing our matches so that we can do corrections. And then from there, I think, honestly, like the need to sort of document your matches is important, because not just for the individual players or for the promotion of career, but honestly, it helps the team to also know
their mistakes, what
and
to correct and
what to correct, what not to correct. And I remember back then we'll video the matches, then afterwards we'll find time and watch it, and we'll make fun of each other. If somebody was faked, we would laugh at the person, then we would pause the video, slow it down, say this should have been done, this person should have moved this way. And I think gradually it sort of helped League United.
Yes.
And especially now, my final year of playing for League United, we were adjudged the best defensive team in Ghana.
Greater Accra.
In Greater Accra.
League.
And I think that season we happened to win about 3 trophies.
Yeah.
So I think there is a need for both the teams and then the association to record matches for both learning and correctional purposes, and also it helps the individual players to be able to generate CV if there is the need for them to be promoted, or how do you say it?
Or they feel other clubs wants them, they will have a video to prove that yes, I'm a Handball player and this is my skills, or this is what I can do to help the team.
Yeah, that's right.
And so so far, since 2017 we started, what are the major challenges you think Handball is still facing in Ghana, especially Greater Accra?
Generally, just like we are known, we are under an umbrella of sports that's known as lesser known sports, and then also known as less finance sports. So the branch under which we are also suggests our major setbacks. I think our biggest problem is with sponsorship. Okay, before sponsorship, honestly, I think our biggest problem is with infrastructure, because I think if the structures are there, if the infrastructure is there, automatically it engages people.
Yeah.
That's why we see a lot of players coming from places like Handball, just because the court is there.
It's there.
So our biggest problem is infrastructure. If we have a lot more decent courts around to engage the youth to learn the game, then beside that, we have the issue with sponsorship, because the sports, I mean, you can only play it for fun for a bit of time. You can't play sports for fun all your life.
Yeah.
Because at some point you have to make a living.
Yeah.
You have to feed yourself, and if family is involved, you have to feed family.
And I think that's the reason why we've lost a lot of great players due to that. Players need to get jobs, get money to feed themselves and their family, and due to that, Handball has really lost a lot of talent. Despite what we are seeing now, we've lost a lot, and I think we have to correct this so that the nation can benefit from the talent we have here in Ghana.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm sure you and I have had this conversation before. Like we talk about sports development. I look at sports in twofold. That there is the need to develop sports, and then sports will also contribute to the development of the nation.
Yeah.
So there's sports development and then sports for development. I mean, in an ideal situation, if the game is, let me stick to sports. If sports is properly developed, it will create a lot of direct and indirect employment, not just for the athletes, not just for the players,
Even the fans.
the fans.
Yeah.
To serve as a source of entertainment, beside the employment, to serve as a source of entertainment, serve as a source of income for some people. Because let's say there is a handball tournament in Kaswa. When players and teams come, they'll pay for accommodation, they'll buy food.
Yeah.
So there is
Everybody gets to enjoy.
Everybody gets to
a
enjoy.
bit of it. Yeah.
And if the sports is properly developed, most teams will have team doctors. So now it will create employment for people like doctors, which people don't think about. When we talk about the need to develop sports, people think about, oh, it only benefits the
Or
athletes,
the players or the coaches,
the
or no,
coaches.
but it's very broad.
Very broad. So there is that. And so back to the issue. I think our biggest challenge is infrastructure. There are not enough infrastructure. And some time back, I think a program was started for handball in basic school. The program was started. I forget who started it, but they were trying to introduce handball into basic school games. I don't know if that project is still there and if there's any progress. There's also that they need to incorporate our sports into our education system.
Yeah.
And I spoke on sponsorship.
So it seems that's your major challenges: infrastructure and sponsorship.
And then there is also, and these things have to be driven by policy. There is a need for the country to have policy development plans. So beyond the infrastructure, if the policy is there, that okay, we need to every year we need to set up a multi-purpose court, or we need
every 5 years we need to build one at least. Then we know we have a structured plan that we can follow.
So maybe if the Ministry of Youth and Sports or the National Sports Authority decides that, okay, in the next 5 years we want all the 16 regions to have a multi-purpose
court or complex
or gymnasium in each of the regional capital. It will help the game.
Yeah.
Not just handball, it will help other disciplines as well. So there's also that.
Away from the challenges, what do you think is one of the how do you say it? One of the benefits that so far you can attach to handball?
For one, I can say handball give me employment. And growing up, if somebody had told me that it's sports or even handball, that would have been my source of livelihood, I would have doubted that, because I was thought, oh, my academics is what will take me. But funny enough, it's handball that helped me join the military. And so not just me, handball have given a lot of people jobs, especially in the security services. So there's that. We can also look at the health benefits. Some of us, if not for sports, I don't think we have the discipline to wake up and say we are going road running to keep fit.
So, very true.
So there's also that. And it's also a source of entertainment. Like when you go and watch handball,
you get excited. You get your colleagues to laugh at them, cheer them up, and all this reduces the depression in the country. But we don't see it that way. Sports does a lot for us, and I think there's the need to sanitize the mindsets some of the people in Ghana have on sports, because sports does a lot for the human body and for the country that you can imagine. Even if you are using the World Cup that's going on, see how people are very enthused and happy in supporting the Black Stars. It wasn't there some time ago, but now see the unity, the entertainment. Even yesterday when we lost the match, but we were all okay because we knew we've already qualified. That is what sports can do for us as a country. See the livelihood, Honorable John Dumelo doing in his constituencies, providing food, providing venue for people to come and watch the match. We can all follow the same track and do for handball, and you would see how people would be happy. One community that I really admire them is Cantonment. when they established Cantonment Youth, it has helped the kids over there to not think of doing any social vices, but to rather come to the court to train, to play matches. And due to that, some of them are even have had scholarships to either the secondary schools or the tertiary level, and through that some to have also gained employment, which their parents are really, really proud. Because imagine you as a personnel, you've gone to work, your child is at home, you don't know what he's doing, and some years to come you realize your child is dealing in drugs or is an armed robber or something. But because of sports, that's handball, your child is able to develop that discipline to stay at home, go for training, knows what to do at every given point in time. That is what we want for our community, and that is what sports can do for us. If you're a parent and you don't even have time to take care of your kids, you know, because your kid is with this club, you know that from 2 p.m. till 6 he's with the club training. As a parent, you know where your kid is. It helps you to, in fact, train and program the activities of your kid. And this is the main reason why we are doing this, so that parents could know that sports in general is not a bad thing, but it also help you to guide and train your kid. And this is the reason why Handball Press GH is here to stay. And we'll make sure we'll discuss everything beyond and off the court, whether it's about veterans, whether it's about old players, whether it's about new players, anything, health issues, whatever that comes across, that we think the topic is very well, how do you call it, fit for us to discuss, so that the general public will know the benefits of what we are discussing. We will do it. So today's podcast will end it here, and we'll call it a day. But don't forget to subscribe to our channel and all our social media handles. That's Handball Press GH. And okay, thank you very much for joining me for this Maiden episode.
Thank you for having me.
We'll call it a day, and next time I believe it wouldn't be only you joining, but we'll have other people to join to have the discussion. Then this discussion is not going to be done at a centralized place. We'll be doing some on the courts, meet people at different venues to have this podcast. So thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.